too. Fucking IKEA chairs
Dude,
make
me
the goddamn
too. So I went back to the office not too long ago, and Sam took over my desk and her desk. So now I don't
Nice.
have.
Good job, Sam.
So now I don't have a desk to use any. Oh, Frankie! Get over here, dude. And this
What did
fucking
Frankie
guy,
do?
he keeps chewing on the pillows, on the throw pillows, on the fucking the fucking couch. This
That's because he
cocksucker.
knows he runs that fucking house.
Why did you buy such delicious pillows, Shanuti?
You know what's the problem? And I'm gonna say this on air, and I don't give a fuck if she's not here. I don't care if she listens. I will put it as the trailer.
I'll tell her. Don't worry.
Yeah, she babied the shit out of him. Now he's rampant like a little brat. What I wanted to do was keep him in the fucking crate when we were sleeping, so we can have some like.
So his muscles wouldn't toughen up, and you could slaughter him and fry him like a veal steak, right?
What the fuck? No, this is not an Asian podcast. We love Asians, but so.
Wait, why did you go there?
Yeah, hold on. That made it worse. What happened there?
I have no idea. We're not cutting this out. I love Asians. This is like Always Sunny. That was very rude of me. I'm sorry. Fuck, where did I lose my train of thought? Anyways, Sam just babies him, all right? End of story. He babies him. Now he thinks he runs this place like a goddamn warlord, like this is Game of Thrones, and I'm over here trying to train him. He like, and then like the maids come and clean, right? Bi-weekly, and they find the balls that we try to hide from him that go under the fucking couches, and I have to. He's like annoying.
Your maids clean under your couch? That's pretty awesome.
Like they move in and they clean under it.
Hold on. You know what? I got an impression to do here. This is my impression of Shanuti trying to train Frankie. Now imagine Shanuti's sprawled out on the couch like this, and he's got a little bit of drool on his shirt and then a bunch of buffalo wing sauce. And he's just sitting there like that. He goes, Frankie, fetch buffalo wings. And then Frankie just stares at him and goes back to chewing on the throw pillow, and Shanuti falls back asleep, and bam, the dog is trained. Shanuti, how close am I?
You're 95% there. So the drool is right, the laying is right, and then you said something about buffalo sauce. I haven't eaten buffalo wings in a while.
So like 30, 40 minutes or?
Like a day. Like it's been a day.
On all you can eat wing day?
Yes. So wait. So I'm laying down, I'm drooling, and then buffalo sauce you cut out. That's why I don't understand what was the last part.
Yeah.
Well, what was the last part?
Oh, you look at Frankie and go, Frankie, fetch buffalo wings, and then you fall back asleep.
Frankie, get down!
See? There we go. Hey, you know what? I got news.
News.
Hold on, before we start, for our viewers, Jeff is not here because he is now Canadian and he does curling.
Yeah. That is.
If it was any one of us, that's who it is.
So that was the intro?
That was intro. Was me? We're talking about Frankie and how Sam babies him, and he's curling.
Hold on. All right, on to my news. Shanuti, I have great news for you. I just saw this on the Facebook for Buffalo Wing Factory about 15 minutes ago. You want to hear some good news?
What's up?
They're going back to $18.99 for all you can eat buffalo wings.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
No, you're lying. You're a joke.
You got got. You got got. You got got. You got got.
Because that's definitely not.
Damn. He knows. He's doing his heart. If
are you serious? There is a wing shortage. I knew they weren't going to do that.
What are you doing about the wing shortage? Hoarding?
Everything in my power.
It?
I actually did. One of my friends did tell me to air fry wings, and I'm going to try it probably here.
Oh, air fried wings are good.
I need to try it because I need to also. I have this sauce that I really want to use. I use it on chicken, like just regular chicken. So I think it'd be good coated on breaded wings. So,
what kind of sauce is it?
So it's kind of like a concoction of like cayenne pepper. I do a little bit of just red hot buffalo sauce. I put it in there. I also put a little oregano for a little bit of to it, and then honey, small teaspoon of honey, and
just
then
to cool it down a teeny bit. Take the edge off.
Take the edge off. A little bit of pepper. and then a little, and this is where it could fuck up big time. You have to find the right balance of barbecue sauce where you put it in there. So all those concoctions together, if you mix it, it will taste great. But if you put too much barbecue sauce, it overtakes the buffalo, and then it's like, what the fuck?
Then it's just barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Now it's just you have a mess. Now you have a mess.
Yeah.
You just have barbecue sauce with a little bit of heat and a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't want. Then I'm just eating chicken.
I mean, generally, if you make a sauce and it doesn't come out right, you just add brown sugar to it until it turns into barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
That was anytime I made something in the crock pot and it wasn't coming out right, it was like, all right, it's time to dump a bunch of brown sugar in there, and then it'll probably be okay.
Just melt it all together. That's all you got to do.
Exactly. I mean, like you said, Zach, but I feel like some sauces, you could fuck up, but it's not to a point where it fucks up the entire meal. You know what I mean? It's like you're fucking it up, but you could still try it. And then it's like pizza, right? You fuck it up, it's not the best, but you can still eat it. It's edible.
I don't know. I've had some pretty bad pizza before.
I would say sauce. I can definitely have a sauce and be like, I don't like that sauce, so I'll still have it. Some pizza, if the crust is shit and it's just soggy crust, you can't even eat it. It's just like eating a weird roll-up sort of thing. It's just fucked up, man.
Y'all ever had a 99-cent slice of pizza in New York City?
It's gross. So bad.
It's terrible. It's like eating cardboard with ketchup and not cheese, rubber shavings on it. It's terrible.
Well, when you go to the pizza capital of the United States, which I would say,
is New York or Chicago?
No, definitely New York. I would put New York over Chicago. I don't know how you.
All right, well, guys, next week Zach and Schnuty are getting in a fist fight.
Wait, you're a deep dish guy?
I'm a deep dish guy through and through. Are you kidding me?
Okay, you know what I love most about Chicago?
I like that Schnuty's trying to make peace here instead of starting a big argument on the podcast.
I'm just being on it. Because here's the deal, right? I'm not pizza is cool. I like pizza. I'll enjoy pizza, but it's not people want pizza once a week. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I could go months without pizza. If Sam orders pizza, I gotta have wings with it because I'm I need some wings.
You're a wing guy. Pizza. You're not a pizza guy. You're a wing guy.
Wing guy, steak guy. I'm a protein guy.
You like your meats.
Yeah, I like my meats.
You're a meat guy.
I'm a Shima guy. There you go.
Yeah. You'll take your sides on the side. You know
exactly.
Yeah.
I'll talk Arabic to the guy. He brings me all the food that I need, and then we go from there. We think that the grilled
poor guy at Shima has no clue what he's gotten into being friends with Schnuty.
Did I tell you about Mother's Day? We went there for Mother's Day. We went there for Mother's Day. He was there, and he met. And my parents obviously speak Arabic better than I do, so they were talking to him. And then they I didn't know there was 4 or 5 of them working there. And they just kept coming to us and coming to us and coming to us. So, you know how it took an hour or so for us to eat because there were some slow down periods, It was 45 minutes because they just kept coming and coming and coming. And, I just was I need the garlic steak. I'm not going to say no. I need the roast chicken. I'm not going to say no. You know what I mean?
So, yeah. I mean, it's insulting. You can't say they're do you want some of this? It's oh shit. Yeah, definitely.
I'll eat some of it.
And guess what came around a lot? Your favorite thing, Zach? The grilled pineapple.
The pineapple? That shit.
Grilled pineapple was good.
It was very delectable. I'm not gonna lie. I liked pineapple, and I liked how they grilled it and put brown sugar on it. I think it was brown sugar, but it was.
Yeah,
it was a little bit of brown sugar and a lot of cinnamon.
There
was a lot of cinnamon.
You get a little bit of sour and sweet. That's why I really like it. That sour sweetness, that acidicness. It hits you, but it smooths you out at the end.
Exactly. You know what?
That reminds me of something else here I wanted to talk about before we got into hockey.
What a transition.
Or Sunny. Yeah, I got transition here. And before Sunny and hockey, I want to talk about something. We're going to take you to the new metal corner here of Five Holers podcast.
Tenacious D.
Give me something to break here. Let's talk about it.
Our break stuff.
Our
break
best
stuff
friend,
time.
Our number one fan, Phil Kessel, is a hot dog eating man. Correct?
That's without question.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know. Have you ever
fact.
seen him eat a hot dog? He's a hot dog fan.
Have
We
you
don't know
ever
if he's eating
seen?
them.
Have you ever seen a plate of hot dogs and Phil Kessel in the same room? No, because Phil Kessel's always in there with an empty plate of hot dogs because he ate them.
And you know what?
If there's no hot dogs on it, is it still an empty plate of hot dogs, or is it just a plate at that point?
That runs me to the next thing here.
Sam over here is talking. She's back, by the way, so
well,
we can't talk shit. Continue.
What do you mean we? You can't talk shit.
Yeah,
I'll talk shit. I'll talk shit.
I like to
right
distance
now.
myself from this here. Did you guys see another hot dog loving motherfucker this past week at Lollapalooza named Fred Durst? Did either of you guys see the guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Is this what you were going to talk about? Yes.
This is
Great.
where I'm going.
glad
here.
you're talking about this.
So, my thought is Phil Kessel is doing an Andy Kaufman sort of impersonation, putting on the ruse, the airs, a disguise, and he is Fred Durst frontmanning Limp Bizkit. That is what I'm thinking here. Have you ever seen Phil Kessel and Fred Durst in the same room? Never. You see Fred Durst recently? He's got that weird wig on. He looks sort of crazy. I don't know if it's a wig or not. Maybe it's just really his hair. But
so this is why I said I'm glad you brought this up. But continue. I'll let you finish your point.
Hold on. Do you guys know what Fred Durst's real name is?
Phil Kessel?
Frederick Allen Mayne, Mayne the third.
The third.
If that's not a poor name, I don't know what is.
That sounds like a fake name to me.
That's
Sounds
and
like a
just so
porn
you
name.
know, so you know, Fred Durst was born in 1970. Phil Kessel was born in 1987. So it's not Phil Kessel being Fred Durst. It's Fred Durst being Phil Kessel.
Phil Kessel. Ooh, snap back. You know what's weird? Fred Durst was born in 1970? Really?
Yeah. Fred Durst is 52 years old.
Yikes. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting. You never see them in the same room. They both love hot dogs flavored water. Phil Kessel, clear lover of hot dogs. They sort of look weirdly alike in a way. If they fluctuated weight like Mac did, they would look sort of similar. But if you haven't seen it, watch the videos of Fred Durst at Lollapalooza. Very interesting stuff there.
And while you're at it, go watch the video of Shaggy Two-Tone trying to drop kick him and just laugh your ass off. Because you know what? Anytime I'm having a bad day, that's one of my go-to videos. Is Shaggy Two-Tone trying to drop kick Fred Durst.
You know what's my go-to video? That's one of them. And for all you Office fans, the monkey sex video. I'm going to drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. You don't remember that?
I don't know
monkey
what he's
sex
talking
video
about.
From The Office?
You don't remember that? It's when Michael's sending funny emails and like Dwight's I got a video you could send, and it's like monkeys having sex, and then he comes out, he's like, send me that monkey sex video. I'm gonna drop it like it's hot, and I'm like, oh my god. Sorry, Zach.
Right there.
I'm sorry. Okay, fine. We're gonna.
You lost me there. It's okay.
We'll send everybody a computer virus because we got the bug. There you go.
We got a virus video.
Wait, stop. I fed him.
Feed him again.
This is the babying. You remember what I talked about? This is the babying.
He needs food. He's cultivating mass.
Mike, what do you have to say about Mr. Fred Durst here while we wrap up this new metal corner?
So I thought about the Fred Kessel. So you got
Kessel.
Me
yep. There you go.
Now the conspiracy is out. No, I mean, I thought about Phil Kessel when I saw it, and I thought about this, right? No man could beat Phil Kessel. So I know where you're going with this, Eric. I could see it. But at the same time, my man Phil Kessel is one of a kind. There's no imitation. I don't think he's out here trying to hide anyone, because if he was trying to hide himself, let's be honest, it'd be terrible. It wouldn't look like Fred Durst. He kind of would look like, you would say, no, dude, you're Phil Kessel in a wig. He'd be like, you got me. And then he'd take a pocket dog and then eat it.
A pocket dog. No, he's got a pocket full of cocktail weenies and barbecue sauce.
I would say he also eats them raw. So he's not in that debate of mustard, ketchup, both, mayonnaise, whatever.
I mean, hot dogs.
Raw dogs.
Wait, you mean plain, not raw? I was gonna say hot dogs come cooked. Like they're not.
It's
raw. It's a sausage.
You're raw dogging it. Get it?
Yeah.
Because it's a hot dog.
Just some
Sam,
of the water.
shut up!
Just a little bit of the water on there.
This girl over here is like, she's eating baby carrots like a fucking rabbit. Continue.
Sam, make more noise.
Oh, we can
Sam,
all
it?
see
hit
over
him.
there.
Sam, come
Yeah.
punch him in the face. Hit him. Hit him.
No,
Come
they're
hit
saying
him.
make a noise.
No, we're saying hit him.
No, yeah.
Saying, dude, if she hits me, hell yeah, baby. My ticket out.
Hi,
Oh,
Sam.
Hi, Sam.
My ticket out, baby.
Ironically, that gesture means the exact opposite of what it actually means. So
Yeah, she was just flicking off Mike. It's pretty great.
What do you mean? What is the meaning you think it meant?
well, normally it means fuck you, and it's obvious that I don't think you're getting laid tonight. So
Dude, I haven't gotten late since Obama was in office. All right, let's continue. She knows it. Continue.
no, actually, I think we should dig into this. When
Dig
was
in.
Obama last in
I'm
office?
an open book.
You're an open book?
Yeah,
How many chicken wings have you eaten in the past 72 hours?
72 hours, 0 actually. So I lied. So I haven't eaten chicken wings since Sunday.
How many did you eat then?
It was at Outback Steakhouse. I would say 12 to 13.
What else did you have in Outback?
So I had my usual. I had 10 or more wings with a side salad with balsamic vinaigrette, a 22-ounce porterhouse with broccoli on the side, and some bread.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta top it off with the bread.
Oh,
Soak
no,
it
you
all
gotta
in.
hit that.
Bread. You have to.
You gotta hit the
at
bread
least
hard.
once. You had to hit the bread once.
The bread at Outback
You
is
have to eat it
awesome.
once. Sam's over here is like, you don't eat the bread. I was like, yeah, I don't eat the whole loaf, but I eat one piece. Like, you have to eat the whole. Like, you taste
What you do is you take a couple bites of the bread and then you take like 5 of them home for later on.
Oh, I forgot. It was a special occasion because we had friends come out with us. So we got bloomin' onion as well. So I had some of that. Bloomin' sauce. Great sauce. I don't know what they do use. Probably Zach knows, but it's a great
Curry
sauce.
powder and dehydrated onion and paprika.
Paprika, eh? That's what I say.
This will give us the color.
That's one of the major secret ingredients in food in America is paprika because Americans don't use paprika in fucking anything. So
Americans can't season shit. Let's be honest. We can't season shit.
we
Jack,
can season some barbecue, but
you could season because you're a man of culture.
yes.
But same with you, Eric. But Eric, you're more of a beer guy. You could tell me where the beers are. You can tell me what is this.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell me this tastes
My
hot.
stomach.
A liquid taster, I guess.
Exactly. You're a connoisseur of beer. What am I a connoisseur of? Wings. End of story. I'll tell you where the best wings are, aka Outback Steakhouse. So,
Wherever you're at, that's where the best ones are.
wherever they at, baby.
Wherever they at, baby.
If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with, right?
AKA wings.
Unless Sam's gone and Frankie's the only thing in the apartment, then don't love the one you're with.
No, I love Frankie. It's just he's babied, so he's out of control.
Usually how it goes with the dog, though.
Yep.
I'm trying to teach him discipline. I'm trying to teach him when daddy's watching sports, it's time to shut the fuck up.
Oh, he
Yeah,
ain't
how
gonna
old is
listen
he
to that.
How old is he?
Yeah.
Huh? Sam's over here criticizing. What were you
No,
saying?
Sam.
Yeah, no.
Sam, how old is he?
1 year old.
He's
1
only
year
1
old?
year old. He's still a puppy.
Oh,
You got
my
like
God.
2 more years of
You
this,
know what my
dude.
dad told me when I was a year old? Get a job. All right? That's what I'm saying.
Did you get a job?
I did.
Really?
Yeah. Living.
Shooty's dad was like, smoke up, smoke up.
Breathing. I did my taxes at the age of 3.
You don't have any taxes at the age of 3. You're a dependent.
Oh, trust me. Don't ask Uncle Sam, but Michael Schnuty is 55 years old.
55.
You're
paying taxes at 3? I don't think Uncle Sam would care if you're paying taxes.
Sam's gonna
when you're not
text
supposed to
Zach
be.
something now about me being an asshole. I don't know.
Feel free. It's okay.
All right, next open book question.
All right.
Before we go to news and notes.
I got nothing.
What's your cholesterol?
Actually, the doctor did say it was a little higher than normal, but he said it's okay, diet and exercise. So I've eaten a steak with eggs every day. So
All right, then.
if I die, I'm not here to live for a long time. I'm here to have a good time. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Huh?
YOLO.
Yeah. Not even a YOLO situation. Like, I'll eat healthy. I'll do my thing. If I die, I die. I could die tomorrow from getting hit by a bus. Like being fucking, my cholesterol is elevated. You know what else elevates my fucking everything? Watching sports, but you don't see me stopping.
Nope. Your hair could get light on fire.
Watching sports doesn't make you less healthy, though.
It does, because high blood pressure, stress, you're eating like shit while you're watching the game. It's the components.
There's usually celery somewhere in the house.
No, Sam's eating all the baby carrots. But I'm allergic to carrots, so I can't eat them.
You're allergic to carrots?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No. What was that? What did you just eat?
You gave me a piece of steak.
That was a piece of steak you just put in your mouth?
Yeah.
That was like a piece of bread. It was huge.
You animal.
The garbage disposal strikes again.
Hey, baby. Woo-hoo. All right. Eric, are you doing your reference right now, or is it news and notes?
Oh, we'll get to the Sunny stuff with the Sunny stuff. One thing I have to talk about is Sunny, but you know what? Fuck it. We'll talk about it now. How about it? So I watched Hateful Eight. We talked about Simo Jackson a little bit ago.
Simo?
I've seen it before. Simo Jackson.
Simo Jackson.
Hateful Eight, though. It was a great movie, Hateful Eight, and I gotta say, it definitely makes my top 3, 5, whatever he did now. There is a scene, multiple scenes, where Kurt Russell throws up all over Jennifer Jason
Lee. Yeah.
Yes, and another person does. Is it Tim
Channing
Roth?
Tatum?
Yeah, it is. No. It's fuck. Yeah, it is Tim Roth. You're right.
No, it's James Parks because he plays Obi.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. No, Tim Roth gets shot.
Yeah. Tim Roth
That's
gets shot.
spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry, spoilers up in the motherfucker. Anyways, Kurt
When
Russell
he's been
gets
out for a year and a
poisoned
half.
by his constituents.
Yes.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Okay, so in 2015, in The Hateful Eight, Kurt Russell throws up all over Jennifer Jason Lee. In 2011, Charlie throws up blood all over the date that they go out with. I think, I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to confirm here that I was texting with Tarantino saying, "What's up, dog?" He said his movie is a direct reference to Always Sunny, and it is an homage.
By the way, he's
to
a huge Always Sunny fan. This is not a fake fact. He is a huge Always Sunny fan.
He is. And maybe it is an homage to that Sunny episode because it's the exact same thing. Charlie's like, when I first saw it, Hateful Eight, I was like, holy shit, Sunny is doing a thing on Hateful Eight. And I looked it up, and Sunny was fucking 4 years before that. So I thought it was very interesting. I think Tarantino, Kurt Russell, in cahoots, trying to get some play for Charlie Day out there. I love it.
Can't wait for Josh.
Good homage.
I like it. Because not a lot of people out there realize what a genius those guys are. Let's be honest. They're the writers. And they created half the reason we talk about things today. And they're the reason why they're the longest running real life sitcom out there.
Exactly. And that's why they have people like Quentin Tarantino playing, doing scenes in their own movies that are paying tribute. They're paying tribute, as they should, to the golden gods out there.
To the golden
the 5-star men. That's what I got. That's before we get into the season 1. But Zach, what do you got for news for hockey? We'll go to hockey in like 5 minutes.
All right, yeah. I got some ranting to do. So first things first. Do we want to talk about Evander Kane or no?
We can. Let's just hit it. You
want
me as a gambling person?
Yo, if you got the story, you run with it. If you want me to throw the details out there, I can do that too, though.
All right, throw the details, and I'll give you my reaction.
All right, perfect.
Gambling.
So essentially, Evander Kane and his soon-to-be ex-wife are splitting up. She is pregnant with his child, and she put out a series of tweets accusing him of multiple things. 1, spousal abuse, but that was a couple weeks ago. 2, he was accused of going to Europe to party while they were facing eviction from their home, while she was pregnant with his daughter. And I guess they have a kid already, and apparently she was saying she couldn't buy formula for the other kid. I don't really know. But and then that I don't want to make light of all that, but that wasn't the big claim that came out. The most shocking of all, the most shocking was saying that Evander Kane, who, as we all know, has a gambling problem, he was $750,000 in debt to the Mirage, I think, in Vegas. Either way, in debt to a fucking casino, which that come on. But either way, she was making claims that Gary Bettman needs to investigate him because he is intentionally using his performance to influence the outcomes of games that he's in for bets that he has made. And as a result of this, there are rumors flying that people in the Stars locker room are saying they don't want to play with him. So it's a pretty interesting story. And he came out and denied all of it and said she's just a bitter ex who doesn't want to, who's upset about their situation. But either way, Evander Kane doesn't have the best reputation. He's been a pain in the ass since he entered the league before all of his gambling and domestic issues popped up. I've never really liked him that much, to be completely honest with you. But either way, all of this other shit on top of it, it's looking like he might be done in the NHL at this point, but excuse me, he's still under contract with the Sharks. So we'll see what happens.
So my reaction when I saw all this, obviously as a gambling guy, you need every advantage to win, right? But as a professional athlete, that is absolutely asinine. At first, you bet on your team to lose half the time. Now, for you two, because I know you don't know a lot about baseball, Pete Rose was a guy back in the day who bet on his team to win every single time because he's like, I'm on the team, we're going to win, blah, blah, blah. Recently, people are discussing, should we just stop with him not going to the Hall of Fame? I mean, he did bet them to win. He didn't bet them to lose, blah, 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 stuff like that. So go to Evander Kane's part. He's telling everybody, my team sucks. I'm on this team. I know this team. This team is ass, whatever. So I'm with you, Zach. This guy has been a pain in the fucking ass since he's come into the league. And he should never, ever touch another professional ice rink again because this is not the first time we've heard him.
He'll go to the KHL and be welcomed with open arms.
Go do the Russian gas. Stay over there. Do all that
Him
shit.
and Slava Voinov can hang out.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, the Russians will love it. Russians will think that's probably the easiest thing to handle. Gambling problems and calling your wife a whore. Yeah, that's the easiest thing to do in Russia. Like, give me a break. Like, Evander Kane is just a shitty person, and I don't like him. That's just the crux of it. And as a gambler, fuck him. You gamble because you don't know what's going on. Fuck you.
It's about making fucking unknowledgeable decisions.
Exactly.
Just making a decision, go into it, no research, just going for it. I like the name of that horse. I want to win.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. That's how you win a lot of money.
The fun part of gambling is not knowing the outcome. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, I'm going to bet on such and such team because I think they're going to.
Isn't that the whole point of gambling? Is not knowing the outcome.
Yes, I think that's the definition of gambling.
Yes. No, that's if it's not called, if it wasn't, it wouldn't be called gambling if that's the reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shooty, are you saying that you only bet on things that you've personally fixed yourself?
Next question.
I will say with Evander Kane is coming off his best season yet. And it will be interesting to see what happens. If he does come back to the Sharks, there could be no trust in that locker room, and he'll end up getting traded pretty soon. But I agree with Zach. I think he'll be off to the KHL or
hot take.
What?
He goes to the fucking Rangers and hangs out with Ryan Reeves, and they are
God damn it,
dual shitheads of the NHL.
Why would you say that?
I put it out there. Sorry, that just came to me. Like I had to.
That's a good hot take. Let's see if that happens. Let's see if that rolls around. That's a good hot take, though. Definitely.
That is the hottest take I've ever
heard. All right. So some more hockey news. Y'all ready for more? Or you want to keep trashing Evander Kane?
No,
let's keep going.
News.
We got more important shit after the news.
All right. Well, I don't really have any more news, but I do have things to talk about, so it works out. They're hockey related. So my question to you guys: does Ron Francis, the GM of the Seattle Kraken, actually know what the fuck he's doing at this point?
Zero
He had
idea.
he had a really subpar expansion draft. They offered Grubauer a contract that got rejected by the NHL a week ago, and it still hasn't been fixed, which is very suspicious that they didn't resubmit it the next day, and then he signed it and everything was good. I don't know if y'all remember when Ron Francis was in Buffalo. He's the reason Buffalo is in the predicament they are in now. And then on top of everything else, like the staff they hired there, they're in Seattle, so they hired a bunch of like techie nerds, and they're very heavy on analytics guys. So my question to you is not how bad is Ron Francis fucking up, but my question to you is, do the Seattle Kraken have some sort of like data-driven statistics, like fucking algorithm or something that's driving what they're doing right now, and they really do know what they're analytics, that's the word. Do they have some sort of deep analytics department that is actually making the best moves in the league right now, or are they just morons? What's the deal?
So the analytics thing for sports started with Billy Beane of the Oakland Athletics. For all you nerds out there,
I saw that movie. Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt.
What?
I think Damon was in it too.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Did Matthew McConaughey show up in that one?
Nope. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Jonah Hill.
Well, I like Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Brad Pitt are the three big hitters.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the story of the 2000-something Oakland Athletics who had no salary cap to use on prime players. But what they use is analytics of people who can get on base. And from there on, they realized that's what you need to do. Just get on base. If we keep getting on base, if all these guys can get on base all this time, clearly you're going to get runs and you're going to get things going. And then after that, you're gonna figure out other things like pitching, and you can do it by doing with all these things. But analytics has a problem in baseball specifically. You need those heavy hitters. You need the big time players to get over the hump. So football started doing it. Basketball started doing it with the small ball, non-positional thing. Football is doing it. So hockey, I don't know what their thing is. Maybe it's like if we keep it to a 1-0 lead, then we'll see what happens.
No. 2-goal lead. Most dangerous lead in hockey.
Yep.
There you go. So
worst lead in hockey.
So to answer your question with that long description, yes, because I think that's what
I forgot my question.
Your question is, do they have an analytics department and they're making the best moves in the NHL?
Yes,
No best moves in the NHL, but because of the analytics, they're making the moves that they're doing. Boom.
And I would say, tack onto that, Ron Francis is an idiot, but he's not making his own decision. He's a puppet. He's like George W. Bush back fucking in the early 2000s. So
he had the opportunity to take Marc-Andre Fleury, and he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why he didn't, because Fleury's getting up there in age. He was already the fucking face of the Knights. I could see Fleury just being like not about it, and you don't want to get stuck with someone who is stuck there and doesn't want to be there.
Fleury is the only goaltender in the NHL currently that has led an expansion team to a Stanley Cup final.
That was a fluke, though. He had a lot of people in front of him who were playing really damn well.
He was still the core of the team that year, and he led them to a Stanley Cup final.
Yeah,
you know what?
Do you think he has another one in him, though? Do you think he'd have another?
I am all in on Chicago winning a cup next year.
Oh shit! Oh, that's
despite all the news. I would love to see Kane and Taves win another cup. That's I mean, because we lived in Chicago when they were coming up, and it was fucking exciting hockey to watch. I still remember sitting on the couch with Dad watching them score 2 goals in the last minute and a half to win the cup in Boston. Like those Chicago Blackhawks teams were something else. They had Jalmerson, they had fucking Duncan Keith and Seabrook, and who was the Marion Hossa? Oh my god, those teams were fucking phenomenal. Corey Crawford in net. Those were great teams. So I'd love to see Chicago make another cup run. So I ain't hating. And honestly, Marc-Andre Fleury is the only former Penguin I'll probably root for. So that's not on the Caps.
4,100.
40 to 100?
Oh no, 4,100 to 1.
Oh, 4,100 to 1?
Yeah.
I would take that action.
It's not the worst. The worst is.
But so if I put $5 on it, I get what?
Let me use my calculator. It's 100 to if you put 100, you win 4,100. So use it that way.
All right, so it's like if I put $5 down, I win like 200. 205.
Basically. Yeah, something like that.
All right. Man. All right, moving on here. So I have one last bullet point under news, and I want to ask. So Jeremy Roenick, he's on the market. He's a hockey commentator, entertaining guy, obviously. He's got cool hair, what's left of it. So should we offer
big muscles too.
Big muscles.
Big
Definitely
muscles,
cultivated mass like no one else in the history of hockey.
Definitely.
But so should we offer sheet him, guys? Like I think we should bring him into the 5 Holers fold.
I think so.
You know,
I think we should do it.
What do we have to offer him?
a job.
Okay, well, there's a start.
Well,
He can put it on his LinkedIn profile.
It's a reference.
I would say it's a good way to clear his name of anything, so he could come up and says anything about anything he wants. He can clear his name. He could punch me in the face. We can have some wings that you would cook, Zach, and Eric, you give him a 12-pack of whatever beer you think is his favorite.
I could get Roenick some beer. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
I'd like to add on my notes for what me and Eric thought up for what we would offer him to make Shannudi upset. The first thing was punching him in the face, and second was unlimited wings. The one Shannudi didn't account for was unlimited use of Shannudi's beach house.
Good luck with that. That ain't gonna happen. I don't even have that.
I don't know. Either way, I'd like to make a public plea right now. So, JR, we know you're listening. Put down that bottle of Jack Daniels. All right. Now, put down the airplane bottle. And yeah, the one under the couch, yes, just move it out of reach. All right. Now, the pineapple pizza, please. You know what? You can keep the pizza. Either way, JR, we love you. We think you are a god amongst men. You've cultivated more mass than anyone with the exception of Brett Hall. I don't know if y'all seen Brett Hall lately. He ain't looking good. But either way, JR, join us on 5 Holers, and we'll call. You can have Jeff's nickname. You can be the Revenant, and we'll just record on Thursdays because Jeff's going to be curling.
That's true.
So, JR, we welcome you.
He could be a substitute. He could be a substitute.
Ooh, yeah. He could come off the bench for us.
All right, that's what I got for news.
There's
other news out there, but that's what I got.
Honestly, the other news is kind of like who got signed and stuff. I don't think there's any big signings, right?
No, it's just been a whole bunch of little signings. A lot of people are moving all around and stuff. But if you want,
there's been some trades, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, nothing to shift the dynamic of like divisions or.
Let's see here. Let's see. Well, Ryan Reeves went to the Rangers. Darcy Kemper went to Colorado. The Caps got Banachek back, which is entertaining as fuck to me. Will Butcher went to the Sabres. That's actually a pretty big pickup. The Devils were pretty high on Will Butcher. I know Craig loved Will Butcher. And now he's a Buffalo Sabre, and the Devils acquired future considerations. That was them making room to sign Thomas Tatar, though, which just happened. As far as other trades, Nikita Zadorov went to the Calgary Flames. Tampa Bay and Chicago flip-flop Tyler Johnson and Brent Seabrook. Nate Schmidt went to the Winnipeg Jets. And then that takes us back to where we were last week. Marc-Andre Fleury was traded for Mikhail Hakkarainen. I don't know, some AHLer whose name I can't fucking pronounce. Either way, that was the weekend trades. There were a couple signings, but I don't have them in front of me, so we're not going to talk about them.
Yeah,
and now
there was yeah.
Go ahead.
No, do it up, Mike. You're up, man.
You got a song?
No, I thought you were gonna just finish your point, Eric.
No, I had no point. I was gonna say that's it. Nothing happened in the NHL, so let's get into the good stuff now. Mike, let those fucking pipes blow.
It is Hell's Kitchen commercial. Nice. The Always Sunny Top 5.
The Mad Munchkin. I am doing the Mad Munchkin dance. Mad Munchkin dance. Mad Munchkin
Bing,
dance.
bing, 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 bing.
Are you remember the Lollipop Kill, Charlie? Yeah, so as the song introduced here, we're gonna keep going with we've been doing movie actors, actresses. I don't think we did actress yet, but movies, and then we did cricket episodes from Always Sunny. So we're gonna keep going with Always Sunny stuff. For everyone who's been listening, following along, thank you so much. We appreciate you listening, and we hope you enjoy the Always Sunny portion of this, which is gonna be our favorite episodes from season 1. And what we did was I asked everyone to give me them top 3 episodes. Their number 1 episode is worth 3 points, number 2 is worth 2 points, and number 3 is worth 1 point. There's 7 episodes in season 1, and we picked every single episode except for one of them. So 6 episodes got points. The 1 episode that did not get any points was The Gang Finds a Dead Guy.
Can't lie to you. Don't remember that one.
You know,
it's classic.
I didn't remember it either, but then I rewatched it, and that is they find a dead guy. Mac and Den, as Mac calls Dennis this season, Den. They try to hit on the dead guy's granddaughter, and then D wants to go to the old
Pop.
He wants to go see Pop.
The old Nazi fuck.
Pop thinks that Dennis is Charlie.
Okay. Yep.
And Charlie gets to dress up in full Nazi uniform, eating a banana. I'm surprised none of us picked it because I rewatched it and I was like, that is fucking hilarious.
To be honest, we
that
only had 3 spots.
And I can't blame you for that because what we picked were great
The
things.
economy is in shambles.
Yeah,
it's
we can't.
shambles.
Yeah, you gotta pick between your favorite kids, and there you go.
And that's it's real barbed wire. So,
Talk about Sophie's choice. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds.
We gotta make sure his ankles are okay. His hamstrings.
We gotta. The way the scoring worked out here is that we have 2 answers for each
position,
scoring, I guess. Yeah, each section. So for number 3, we have 2 answers. For number 2, we have 2 answers, and for number 1, we have 2 answers as well. It goes from 3 points to 4 points to 5 points for the answers. And we'll just jump into them. Some people were only answered by one person. One of these ones will be quiet because it was only answered by Jeff. But we'll start with number 1.
Our favorite?
Number 1. What? No. We're going to start with number 3.
You got to do 3.
Right.
You said
all right,
1.
No, I got you.
So we're going to do
a lot of
number
numbers
1
being thrown around
3.
here.
Yeah. So, yeah. This is number 3. Charlie has cancer, and that was answered by Mike as his number 1 answer.
Wow, really? Nobody else put that as number 1?
I had
no one else.
I think.
Like nobody had it.
I didn't.
Top?
I don't know. I want to throw a disclaimer out there right now. I gave all my numbers to Eric before I rewatched the season, and then I rewatched the whole season and said I'd like to change all of my answers, and then I decided I didn't feel like putting the effort into that, so I didn't change them. Charlie Has Cancer is a great episode, but I'll let Shanuti lead since it was his favorite.
So the reason why I thought it was my favorite is because we see the waitress probably for. It wasn't the first time. I don't remember. Was it the first time we see the waitress?
No, she's in the first episode.
Very first episode. Okay. So why did Charlie say he had cancer? Because he had a Live Strong Day bracelet, and it sits off the entire fucking thing, and everybody's worried about him. Everybody wants to make him happy. It's just a classic Charlie do where he's just like, I don't care. I'm just trying to get my own gain from this. Meaning he wants to bang the waitress just because he saw a fucking Live Strong bracelet. It's a brilliant episode. From beginning to end. You guys can elaborate more on it. That's why I loved it. It's just because it's a Charlie. That was the first ever Charlie, it's me thing. And for all you all-time listeners or all-time watchers of Always Sunny, his mom does the same thing in a later season just because he wanted to see him more. And he's like, what? You can't do this. And it's just funny that he just freaks out. It's like, you did that in season 1, dude. So.
Yes, that's a good pull later on by his mom. That episode is also the pilot, the first ever little episode that was recorded, is based off of that. Is Charlie has cancer? So the first little tiny thing, like 15 minutes or something like that, is based on that sort of idea. Dennis trying to get the basketball. They're waiting in the car. He needs the basketball to go play basketball, but Charlie's not feeling very well because he might have cancer. Great episode.
He's not really empathetic, right? That he's like,
nah, he doesn't really care.
I need
the basketball.
Yep.
All right, I got a couple notes on this episode. So y'all covered it a decent bit on, but first appearance by Artemis, who becomes a classic character.
Artemis, yep.
We get Rick rolled twice in this episode by Dennis and Dee, which was fucking wonderful. All right, so this is one that I wanted to see if y'all caught this because I did, but it is the first episode where the two guys look at each other and say, "Is that a hate crime?" And then they beat someone up. This happens again later on in the episode where the Phillies win the World Series.
Yeah,
and they beat up the Phillies. They beat up Green Man because he's fucking with
Green Man because he's going at the Phillies.
Yes,
correct.
So
I think beating up him. Yeah,
I think that those guys actually probably should have been on our list last week or whatever week that was.
I thought about that too.
Yeah.
I thought about him. I thought about those two guys, and I thought about Thunder Gun. Like not like Thunder Gun, like not. The character
Dolph Lundgren was on the list.
Yep. No,
you just didn't pick him
as Thunder Gun though. Like he's Thunder Gun.
As Thunder Gun. Oh, okay. That's what you're saying.
So you're saying the concept of being Thunder Gun is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, gotcha. All right. Do I have anything else on here that was really interesting?
Movies.
My favorite part of that episode is Mac runs to the bar and he comes in and he's talking about how awesome it is that he ran to the bar, and I thought it was funny that Mac was very impressed that he ran all the way there. Like, don't get me wrong, I can't run to save my life, but Mac was like all jacked up because he ran somewhere.
Yep, it's a good episode. The more I watched season 1, the more I loved every single episode in it. The next one that tied for third, we're gonna jump into real quick. We're gonna pass real quick past it because it was Jeff's number 1. Charlie wants an abortion. Fucking awesome episode because Charlie is the kid, the little brothers, little sisters. The kid gets drunk at the end.
That's
hilarious.
The whole abortion clinic line too, which is absolutely hilarious. With Mac with the list of doctors going to kill, and he answers, goes, "There's 2 crossed off already." He looks at you and goes, "I know."
I'm pregnant. He goes, "You have to get an abortion.
You have to have an abortion."
Instantly.
I don't know. One thing I really liked about that episode was, well, first and foremost, Mac immediately displays himself as an expert on Catholicism, which happens constantly in the show. But it was kind of the first time where he was like, "I went to Catholic school. I know about God. This is what God wants," and I thought it was hilarious. But this was the I think this was really one of the first episodes where they hit a subject fucking hard and hit like a social quagmire hard when they're talking about how the right wingers are pro-life, but they're also pro-death penalty at the same time, and that really kind of became a theme of the show was taking aim at things that are wrong with society, and they always tackled it in such a weird kind of matter-of-fact way. Like there was no opinion involved. It was like, there's A, but there's also B. Like, how the fuck does this make sense? And they do it constantly throughout the show in a variety of ways. But this was the first time they did, and it was really just it was very off the cuff and random in the episode, and then they rolled right back into the humor. So
yeah, they move quick. But if you didn't like stop and like watch it a few times, you definitely could miss what they're actually trying to say because this first season has a very big social commentary. It sort of matches later seasons they've been doing recently, where it's very to the point and in your face. The whole first season, just looking through the list though, it's a lot of them touch on a lot of very I guess touchy subjects, and if I might say so myself.
Yo, wait, so I got a conspiracy theory about this episode though. Is it just me, or is Charlie's kid, does he look suspiciously like one of the frat kids from the frat episode?
No, you're right. You're absolutely
right. He does.
I'm not
Yes.
sure if they're the
Weird.
same actor, but at the same time, could that be Charlie's child?
That's a good question. It possibly could be.
Oh man, he Goodwill hunted his own fucking kid. That's a topic. That's a
Tommy
topic
Doyle.
right there.
Tommy Doyle's the kid, played by Stacey Corvelli. Stacey Corvelli.
Jesus, Zach.
Yo, if I'm right, you each owe me an all-you-can-eat wings.
No, just in season 1.
Damn. All right.
Fuck you.
I'm not buying you
Yeah.
any wings, you asshole.
No,
All right.
you didn't win that one. Didn't win that
What
one.
else?
Moving
Oh,
on.
you know
Let's
what
go
else
to-
is weird? You know what else is weird about this episode? Mac was very into the chick.
Yeah.
Very
which
into
was
the
weird.
chick. The whole
Like, dude,
season,
look
he's
weird.
very into the chicks, though.
Hold on, are you in the bathroom? I think
No,
I see a roll of toilet paper back
No,
there.
I'm getting a bar.
He's getting a bar. He's hungry. Man's got to
Yeah.
eat. He's burning calories. doing
You
this
can't make it
podcast.
through an hour-long podcast without eating.
Hey, I don't tell you what's what.
You should have just yelled,
Yeah.
"I'm cultivating mass," and gone with it.
You don't tell him what's what.
You have me coming. I should be Chonga.
The other great part of that episode is the beginning where Dennis calls Mac out on his shirts, how he cuts the sleeves off of him. And he's like, you come to Pennsylvania for the crack. It's a picture of the Liberty Bell. It's hilarious. That's awesome.
Oh,
They do the whole the mad.
We
munchkin
represent
man,
the
mad
lollipop
munchkin, yeah.
girl.
They making fun of Charlie and shit. Fucking hilarious. Jeff's the only one who had that episode on his list though. But I would say because there is action-packed, full hilarious episodes in this season.
Before we go further, one last thing on that episode. At some point, D asked Dennis about his moral leanings. He just kind of laughs because I don't really have any convictions, and that just sets the
Yes.
stage for Dennis for the rest of the show.
All these episodes this first season really set the stage for all these characters. You can see like their core principles, and they just fucking blossom off of that. It's crazy.
Yeah. When he gets pissed off.
Yeah, he just so great. We'll move to section 2 here. The number 2 answers. We'll start with this one. Gun Fever. This had 4 points.
Oh.
It was my number 3, Zach's number 2, Jeff's number 3.
Did I even take notes on Gun Fever? I took a couple notes on Gun Fever. I was watching the season. There's 7 episodes. I got halfway through Gun Fever, and then something came up with work, and I had to start working again, but I kept watching. So I don't even have notes for the gang finds a dead guy or Charlie got molested, but I got through half of Gun Fever. But I'll start it off here. The first thing that was entertaining to me was Charlie knew what a B&E was, but Mac and Dennis had no clue what they were talking about. So it was a really weird role reversal where they're normally making fun of Charlie for not knowing things, but Charlie knew what it was and they did not. It was bizarre. And that's one thing that I don't want to say Charlie's character changed a lot between the first season and the second season. Like he legitimately changed from being a character that had these character traits and these
character traits. Smart.
And then his character got changed the quickest and immediately. But even stuff like him saying he had a sister, which he doesn't have in later seasons, like Charlie's character was rewritten after the first season to some degree to use what they thought worked. But this was something I wanted to touch on here because it happens a couple times in this season, and we'll get into it more later on. But multiple times in this season and throughout the show, this was an episode where something happens and they have what they think is a good idea, and immediately their group thinking, their hive mind comes together to rally behind this idea that in all reality is actually a terrible fucking idea, makes no fucking sense for what they're doing. And I think that's been it's a running theme of the show where they have an idea and they all just throw themselves at it, and it ends up being something that's fucking stupid and causes them problems. I don't want to get into this too heavily, but in the first season, it's all stuff where they're just barely making it happen. Then Frank comes in the second season, financier, and all of a sudden it gets even crazier. But that's a different episode
where
season.
we can. Yeah. Yes, that's for second season.
Yeah, but either way, they had something happen, and then they had a bad idea. They convinced themselves it was good, and they ran with it. Let's see. First appearance of Wong is in this episode. Who one of my favorite side characters. He's very entertaining. He eats snake meat sandwiches. He tries to get the rent from Charlie, and it is the only instance where we see Wong without Frank being his antagonizer, where Charlie's actually antagonizing
Charlie. Yep.
And then No, let me go. Go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I'll say my last point for this episode before I had to start working again to stop taking notes. I just thought it was funny that they needed to get a target and they just bought a fucking log and hanged it in the basement. Like that was funny, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's just that's the thought process that I'm sure Mac was like, well, let's get a log. And Dennis was like, of course we will. That episode is amazing because I feel like it really shows who they are as people. Dee is trying to date the cool guy and trying to impress him, and he ends up robbing them. It just shows how not dumb she is, but how
naive
she is. Naive. There you go. Charlie is trying to get out of any jam he can in any way he can, and he ends up getting screwed. He gets shot. And then Dennis and Mac are just classic Dennis and Mac. They are in it hot. They're going full force. They are making sure that they get that gun, they protect that bar, and they want to try to figure out who's robbing the bars. And they figure out who it is. They're smart. They do their job, but it fails. That episode fucking cracks me up every time I watch it.
I like the episode. I am vote for it. Like I said, I thought the 3 that I chose, I think it was the cancer, underage drinking, and I forgot my third. What was my third?
You had cancer, molested, drinking.
Molested. Well, okay.
But we'll get to all that. We'll get to that.
Yes. All I'm saying is those 3 are pivotal in my continue to watch Sunny. I'm not saying the other episodes were bad. I just said those are my 3. So when the gun thing happened, I thought the gun issue with Frank was a lot better than the first season.
The second one, I agree with that. Definitely.
Oh yeah, Gun Fever 2 Still Hot was a classic episode.
And I still blasted them.
You mentioned you weren't hot about the Gun Fever, but the underage drinking. You had that one as your number 3. So let's move into that. That's our second number 2. What do you say about that? Underage drinking, Mike. We all had that.
This was an absolute shamble of an episode. It was the first scheme, you could say, by the gang. Like, it was the first kind of big scheme. Like, without them knowing. It's like, oh, all these kids are underage and blah, blah, blah. It's just so funny in that episode. Dennis, Dee, and Charlie all get dates for the prom because they're servers at this bar. And they're making it, and then Charlie's like, "That's classic. What's her name? That's classic. His name."
Yeah.
Giving him the gossiping. So it's so funny that this happened to the gang, and then like we get another reference later on when Frank does the underage drinking thing to the new bar. And he's like, "I wasn't there for that scheme, so I don't know how it played out." So it was a great reference back in those episodes. It's a great episode to watch because you get to actually see how big of scumbags that they are, that they need to be like, that they actually go to prom with underage kids and give them beer at the bar. So
it's great because the whole thing is that they get asked to go to prom and everything, and Dee, Dennis, and Charlie all get asked.
And Max says he's going stag.
Max is going stag.
Like it's a fucking actual prom that he's allowed to
hilarious. Like he's in high school. They go to the party with all the kids as well. Like bring them the kegs, and Mac acts like a fucking fool. But the best part is Dennis and Dee because they think they're popular. Dee does the whole Dee thing where she drinks way too much, and she gets all weird. And she's like,
"Tell me I'm
in the park in the afternoon at one point
in the
too."
Park. Yeah, yep. She talks about she's like, I can't kiss you. I've never statutory raped anybody. It's like first season coming in hot, fucking hilarious. That's the third episode they did. Underage drinking.
That's unreal that they were like, let's just do underage drinking at a bar. Us getting Kate on at prom because. Didn't Dee say she didn't go with anybody at her prom or some shit like that?
Yeah, because she was
the aluminum monster.
Yeah,
aluminum monster, and she's like, "Oh my god, he thinks I'm pretty. You're so cute," and blah blah blah. And then Dennis, of course, it's like I'm going with the hottest chick in school. It's like I'm like, bro,
Dennis is actually conflicted about dating an 18-year-old in that episode, so that's something that changes later on.
Oh, and you know what? There's a few good mentions in that. Nikki Potnick is brought up.
Yes, I got one. They referenced Tim Murphy sleeping with Dennis's prom date.
Yep, that was.
Which turns out it was Mac.
It was Mac.
It was Mac the whole time.
Sorry, Ronnie the Rat. It was Ronnie the Rat.
Ronnie,
yeah.
So it's funny that you brought up the Ronnie the Rat thing, because if you look in that episode, when they did say about the whole Murphy sleeping with the prom date, you can actually see Mac's facial expression change. So I want you guys to watch that again.
Okay.
You could see Mac's facial expression. You could tell it's like, yeah, like Ted Murphy definitely slept with the prom date, dude. Like, bye. It's like,
I'm like, oh shit. I'll have to go back and watch that one again.
Great episode.
All right.
Great episode.
I got a couple points in this episode. So a couple things. First, this is the first episode where they pull a gag where the gang is split up into two and they both show up at the same place, and one starts berating the other one about why they're there, and then the other one immediately berates back about why they're there, which it happens again later in the show a couple times, and it's always funny. Once again, it's another one where their hive mind convinces them a bad idea is not only a good idea, they convince themselves it is a moral victory in this episode, which, yeah, they established that early. And the last thing that I thought was funny is Charlie's huffing Elmer's glue at some point. So it's definitely not the Charlie of later seasons. He even references huffing chemicals in high school. So I have two thoughts here. Either it falls in line with his established character currently that he's not addicted to huffing glue, whereas he is in later seasons, or it falls in line with the idea that he is illiterate and he was huffing Elmer's glue because he thought huffing any glue would get him high. He couldn't read that it was non-toxic. So it's kind of a weird thing going on, but still very entertaining nonetheless.
They say, I think it's in the one with the, I don't know if it's the reunion or not, but there's a moment where he says, back is like, dude, this is non-toxic, man. And Charlie keeps huffing it. I can't remember what
it was this episode.
Was it this okay?
Yeah.
It's so funny because he's like, in that episode that you brought up, the reunion, he's like, I know how to handle my my
sedatives.
Yeah.
I
know how to mix my chemicals. Yeah. No, I know how to handle my sedatives, and the gang dances their ass off.
Yes, that's it. Yep. When
I can handle my sedative.
The power, the power balls or whatever they are called.
And now, if we're on that topic.
No, it's a different episode, but we'll get into it later.
No, but
true, it is.
I'm here to tell you guys I have now found my favorite episode. That is my favorite episode, both of them.
Which one?
The Dance to My Ass Off. That is by far my favorite.
Gang dances their ass off.
Yeah, I'm choosing it. That's it.
All right, so when we get to that season, you don't pick that. We're gonna call you out on it. Got it.
Frankie, over here.
He's too busy with the dog. Let's move on.
You can call me out. Call me out, bro.
I'm gonna call you out later once you're wrong.
All right.
Shooty would never forget. He's like an elephant.
Never.
Let's go here. We're gonna get to the top answers. The number ones. Each of these answers have 5 points from the boys. We'll start with Charlie gets molested, or Charlie got molested.
The McPoyle. The first McPoyle episode. Oh my god.
That
was my number one. It was Shinuti's number 2.
Didn't make my list.
Hands down, the reason it was on my list is the McPoyles. Charlie walks through the door, and McPoyle says, we just got out of the shower. And they go on for a little bit, and then he realizes...
Is he fucking vacuuming? For real?
Dude, I'm vacuuming because there's chocolate stuff on the ground. I don't want my dog eating.
Who put chocolate on the ground?
I did.
Were you walking
around? Did Sam just yell at you for not doing your podcast right?
Yeah. It's fine. I did it.
Get him, Sam. Get him.
Listen, I don't need a dead dog in my hand. I already got enough dead things on my hand. Continue. Sorry for vacuuming. Christ on a cross.
No, it's okay. It is a very McPoyle thing of you to do.
No, the McPoyles don't vacuum. They rub it in.
Go ahead.
True.
McPoyles came out of the shower. They're naked.
No, they're not naked. They're in bathrobes.
They are. One of the McPoyles is huffing Glade, which is pretty fucking hilarious too. He's spraying the walls and then huffing it too. Just the introduction of the McPoyles, who are lasting characters, who have such an impact on the rest of Sunny in general. It made my top answer, and to end the season with that, fucking hilarious. And it's another episode where you're like, holy shit, are they really doing this? And yeah, they did it, and they got renewed, and they're on what fucking season 15 coming up, 16. Yeah. So
I remember watching that episode at Phil Arnone's house, his parents' house in Centerville, and him just going, "Yep, that's South Philly." So that stuck with me, to say the least. Hi, Phil.
Hi,
Hi, Phil.
We'll have to tag Phil in this and make him listen to it. He'll listen to it. Phil loves us.
Yeah, hopefully.
Phil loves
He's
everyone.
a busy man. He's a busy man.
He's a busy guy.
But he rides the subway. He's got time to listen to podcasts.
That's true. That's true. Shruti, what do you got to say about Charlie Got Molested?
No, so this was just a funny episode. I mean, it's the first of the biggest reoccurring guests of Always Sunny, the McPoyles. I would say actually second or third to the waitress and the cricket. You could put those three in a combined thing.
Yeah.
It's so funny that the coach convinces everybody he's not molesting children. At the end, he's molesting a kid. And it's just and Charlie's like, I didn't get molested. You guys did. And then like the coach basically said like the McPoyles went after him and shit like that. And it was a whole big conspiracy, and it was just a funny episode. Just a funny.
There's another character that got introduced here for the first time, and that is Uncle Jack.
Oh,
Uncle
God.
Jack.
When they're asking him to touch the doll.
Yes.
Creepier than ever. So.
I want to go back to what Shnuti said, though. Just the fact that they did this whole episode about him not molesting kids, and it turns out he was. Like, this is a show where they constantly kind of trick you into thinking they're going to instill some sort of faith in humanity in you, and then they fucking completely rip it away in the last 10 seconds of the episode.
Left field.
Yes, like that's something they're awesome at. Like they're very good at pointing out the flaws that we as a society as a whole have, and the fact that we're not doing anything about them, and the things we're doing about them are stupid and they're not actually working. Case in point, Mac finds out people were molested, and he's jealous that he wasn't molested, to the point where he goes to the coach's house and shows him a picture of himself, and he's wearing shorts that are cut up to his fucking ball sack, and it's just ridiculous.
Can I be honest? I think that was the first indication of Mac being gay. Like, that was the first indication. Like, it had to be the first. Not saying like, oh, like.
I don't know. God, you know what? I'm gonna jump in. I know I hope we don't get any flack for it. Thank God we don't have any fucking listeners. Him sleeping with Carmen, I think, was the first indication that he may be a homosexual.
Or was he just accepting? Or was he accepting?
I think I don't want to say it was an indication that he was a homosexual. I think it was an indication that he wasn't a complete heterosexual. I'll put it that way.
There you go. Bingo. That's better.
Boom.
That's better. All
right.
There you go.
I'm out.
He was not straight. He's not gay. He's an in between. He's a Q. He's a Q in the LGBTQ community. He's a Q.
He went from a twink to a twonk to a twonk.
So what's the difference between a bear and an otter? Find out on the next episode.
Oh God, we should do an episode on that. Actually, I think.
Oh Jesus.
Man.
Let's jump up. We got the last number one here, guys, and this was voted by Zach as his number one and Jeff as his number two. So Zach, you got to take it away here. It's the first episode of Always Sunny ever.
All right.
To be
All right. I'm gonna get into it here. The first thing I want to say is we forgot Terrell on our list of side characters, and I feel bad about it because he was a great side character. He was the first side character, and he was hilarious. Either way, this really sets the stage for how terrible all the members of the gang are. It really gives them room to grow, but we all know which direction they grew in, to say the least, as they went on. They dropped the N-word with an A in the first 3 minutes. They dropped the N-word with a hard R in the first 5 minutes. Like, I didn't pick up on this show until, like, I don't know, maybe the second or third season. So I watched these years after I started watching the show. The fact that their pilot episode featured white people saying the N-word in that manner 2 times, and they got picked up and they're still going, is mind blowing. Like, people want to talk about Seinfeld or Friends or Frasier or The Simpsons or King of the Hill, whatever it may be. No, these guys went out there. They set the bar extremely high somehow, but extremely low at the same time, and they're doing both of them. Like, it blows my mind they got away that episode even made it onto the air. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like the fact that they said those words
So
that quickly.
they said it quickly, and let's be honest, they got picked up, right? But when did they get picked up? Back in the day where nobody really was a PC culture. It's kind of funny that you brought that up. Nobody really looks back at Always Sunny and it's like, oh, you said those things, right? Because in all their other episodes, they're saying things, but not really saying them. Like you know what I mean? Like Frank said the actual F word to gays, and Mac comes out of the closet. So nobody says anything about that either. So I think it's like it's kind of like South Park now, right? You know what you're going to get with Always Sunny. It doesn't matter what you're going to say. They're going to continue doing it because they just don't give a fuck. It's just like that episode set the tone. It's like we're here to say whatever the fuck we want. We're not trying to be offensive. We're trying to be funny. And I know saying the N-word probably is not the best way to do it, but it's the stake in the ground saying we don't give a fuck. We're gonna make fun of everyone, not just
We're doing
black
whatever
people.
the fuck we want.
We're making fun of every single person, don't matter who you are, because they made fun of Muslims, they made fun of gays, they made fun of Jews, they made fun of white people, they made fun of everybody in sight.
It ain't the Mormons.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So if it really was it really can't. And I think they went to FX with it. They're like, listen, we're going to try to be somewhat what South Park is, and we're going to try to push the envelope and either get behind us or not. And I bet you FX at the time didn't really have the lineup that they have now. They're like, fuck it, let's see what happens. And they were funny. And then you add, like I said, Danny DeVito, it went off. So.
Yo, next week's episode is going to be like 3 hours long once we add Danny DeVito. But go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
If we're gonna do season 2 next week, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, I think it was really them being like, what can we start with? Because they had to submit the shows and what they were recording and what they're gonna be putting out. And I think they're like, let's do the strongest, not the strongest, but the most offensive thing. Yeah.
No, not offensive. Not offensive. Uncomfortable.
Edgy. Yeah. Let's put that out there first, see what we can get away with, and see if we can keep moving forward. And I think it really showed again these characters how they develop, because like even I mean they have the Mac, they have the gay club and Mac's cousin. They mentioned Mac's gay cousin, one of his 2 gay cousins. Yeah. And he's talking about how far he's come, and you're like, oh, but like I mean, even from the beginning of those early episodes, you don't think Mac's gay, but I mean,
because he's so he acts tough. He acts tough.
Yeah,
like
so
not saying he is tough, but
you see the beginning of these characters and how far they're going to develop. And you have Dennis who's bartending, and you know he's getting all the tips and stuff, and Dee's jealous of him. And then
that was one thing Charlie, I loved was. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Charlie, the whole thing of Charlie is that he's just trying to make the waitress jealous and get the date with the waitress, and it really shows how far they've come as characters, and how much they've developed, but also how they've literally been the same fucking character over and over again.
Pieces of shit.
Yep.
The worst people in the world.
Yeah.
Since high school, they've been the same person. I don't know. Y'all hit on a lot of things I wanted to say, but the first thing about this episode was it really deals with the gang's inadequacies when it comes to race and what word do I want to use here? Sexuality, I guess. Either way, they immediately hit on the fact that they're a bunch of white people in their late 20s who have no friends outside of their immediate friend group. And that becomes a very big theme throughout the show, is outsiders, quote unquote, coming into their group and how they deal with it. One thing I did want to point out this episode, Mac and Charlie are both wearing, they're both wearing shoes, obviously. Charlie's wearing a pair of like their DDSs or something with pink soles, and Mac's wearing a pair of biker boots with a big buckle on them, and sometimes there's a bandana on there. Either way, after I don't know, they both did this individually on Instagram in the past like 3 or 4 seasons. They both posted pictures of those shoes and said, I've had these shoes since day one doing this show and I still have them. So whatever pair of shoes those 2 pairs of shoes are, because they're the only shoes they've worn on the show unless there was some extreme contingency, I need a pair of both of them. Like that, they're wonderful.
The shoes that Charlie wears is a pair of Vans Skate Highs, actually. You can find the same model, but it's they They're made a while ago. They're made when the show first came out. So it's
All
sort of
right,
hard to
so they're
find.
15 years old. All right,
Yeah.
all right. And then the last 2 points I had was one, I really like this episode with Dennis's vanity immediately taking over when he's getting hit on by the gay guys. Like, he doesn't care that he's leading these people on or that he has no interest in being sexually available for these people.
Mm-hmm.
And they start hitting on him. They say he has the most beautiful eyes, and he like catches himself. He's like, oh, well then, and he starts pouring drinks. And then there's the whole thing with them making Dennis think he slept with someone and whether he did or not, and yada yada yada.
How does that ass feel?
Yeah, that's kind of beside the point.
But that's what I'm also saying, right? No, go ahead, Zach. Sorry, I'll tell you that point.
No, jump in there.
So that's what I remember of the episode more than anything is like that final thing where they made it so fucking funny that Dennis thought he slept with a girl, but it was actually he's like, did I sleep with you? He's like, no, honey. He's like, how does that ass feel?
Yeah.
And
Dennis he picks up the blanket and looks at the guy's ass. He's like, nice. Or no, he's like, good for you. Then looks at it. He picks up and looks at himself. He's like, nice. Yep. And then all turns around. The whole great part is that at the end of it, Max like, so what'd you get your theater guys to do? And D's like, nothing. They couldn't do it. What are you talking about? And it goes back to him. How's that ass feel?
Oh, man.
Which that was honestly a format that I think they experimented with that in that episode. They never came back to was this. We're gonna have something happen in the episode. We're gonna be referential to it, and then we're gonna replay it again. Like from a cinematography point of view or a directing point of view, like that was something they played with in the pilot, and they never did it again. And I'm not sure it would have added to the show, honestly. So, but I don't know. Watching that pilot, there's a lot of things they do from like a filming point of view where it's like they never fucking did that again. This was something they played around with in the pilot, and FX said cut that shit out, and they didn't do it.
Definitely. Yep. There's a lot.
Maybe
of
that's
like that.
the thing. Maybe they're like, you can't do shit like this again, and then like you can keep going because it was actually funny, but you gotta calm down.
Either way, it worked out for them, and that's just season 1. There's a whole bunch of seasons for us to cover. I think we had a great list. The only thing we left off, like I said, was the gang finds a dead guy, which, I mean,
might be my favorite episode, honestly.
Yeah, it's a great episode. I mean, all 7 episodes set the tone for everything that's going to happen within the series. So can't go wrong. Yeah. If you listen all the way through this podcast, you've never seen an Always Sunny episode, definitely just start from number 1.
Why did you listen to the last episode? That would be my first question.
Why did you listen to it? Why have you listened to any of this in the first place?
Episode? Why did you listen to any episode?
Yeah,
to be honest,
exactly.
But boys, thank you again for coming on the show. We had a great time with Always Sunny stuff. We'll probably do another Always Sunny top 5, top 3 next week. I'll leave that to the crew. Thank you guys for tuning in to 5 Holers. I am your host, the king of the ship, the man that will take us to downtown. Michael, the garbage disposal Shnuti, and always behind me, the guy who will always protect my backside, our backside actually, from anybody slapping our ass going, how does that ass feel? Zach, the walrus, Vincent, Wu-Tang for life.
No, that means walrus now.
Oh yeah.
It's a walrus tail. Walrus tail.
Jeff doesn't get an awesome intro. He just gets Jeff the Reverend Schneider will be back on next time after his curling matches. But this guy gets an intro. He will make sure that he's the king of the castle, the guy who goes to the prom with the queen. He won't have trouble with an 18-year-old because he's like, I'm married. Eric, the Red Falcon, Vincent. Not married yet, but close. You both
get there. Yeah,
Zach is married. You're not, but there you go. But
almost said.
We would like to thank Four Corners Studio for hosting us, keeping our podcast alive. Go listen to everybody else's podcast on there. Like, download, and subscribe. Follow 5 Holers on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, as well as Four Corners Studios on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, YouTube channels, and streaming services. We are also brought to you by Smooth My Balls, the best in care down there. Get your ball deodorant, get your razors on us. 4CR20, get some money off. 4, the number 4, CR, the number 20. And that is our show. I promise I won't vacuum next time, but I can't promise you anything else. I'll vacuum this food. Zach, take us away.
Why go bar down when you can hit the 5 hole? Aim low. How's that ass feel?
Bah!